Okay, for this project, what you're going to do is first download the custom brush set. And so you'll go ahead and you'll click on the free paint splatter Photoshop brushes 3.abr file, and you're going to download that. It's going to open up into Google Drive right here, and then you're going to go ahead and click the download button. Save it to your downloads folder, or just somewhere where you know you'll be able to access it. I'm going to just download it to my desktop. Because that is an easy place for me to go find it. So I'll go ahead and hit save right there. And now in Photopea, what we're going to do is create a new project. We could really go any size for this, but I am going to choose the default, not the default, I'm going to choose the Instagram 1080 with 1080 at 72 DPI, and click create. And the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to create a new layer right here, because I don't want to be painting on the white background. I want to be painting on a transparent layer right here. Now, if you click in your brushes properties panel right here with the brush tool, you'll see that you have a number of different brush settings that you can choose from. But not a lot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 14, and then 19 of them. What we're going to do is we're going to go to File, and we're going to go to Open, and we're going to open that .abr file. All right, so right here you'll see free paint splatter Photoshop brushes. Click Open, and then you'll get this message that says load free paint splatter Photoshop brushes 3.abr. Next time we'll hit OK. What this is doing is this is basically importing a new set of brushes. There'll be about 15 of them. So now you'll see right in here, we got a whole bunch to choose from. They're all going to be 2,500 pixels by 2,500 pixels. Our document is only 1,080 pixels, so there's going to be a bit of a discrepancy in terms of how large that brush size is. This might make your computer go a little bit slowly, but I've tested this on a Chromebook, and I was, for the most part, able to keep up. For your knowledge, if you go to Edit, you go to Local Storage. That's going to show you the things that you have added. So the various fonts that you've added, the .ttfs or OTFs, and then the .abrs. Those are going to be the brush files. If you want to get rid of them because maybe you've added them and they're cluttering up your brush file, you can just click on them and then click Delete. I'm going to keep mine in. All right, now what you're going to do is you're going to choose some colors. So I'm going to go with sort of like a bluish purpley sort of theme for this design, starting with like a navy blue that I'm going to set as mostly like the background. So I want it to be like a really navy, and right in there. I like it. Okay, now with the brush, I'm going to choose one of these funky splatter paint brushes, and you'll see what they do. I'll choose the first one in the new edition, and so in a second, you'll see that it's going to catch up, and wait for it. All right, now you got this sort of like preview of what this is going to look like. So I'm just going to click one time and splat. I get this big old blue splat. I can move my brush over a little bit. I would like it right around here. I'm going to click and just add a little bit more. So like the brush is just sort of creating these custom shapes. So it's not just like round or, you know, a soft edge, all sorts of different things. I could lower this down to, let's make this like 1,500 instead of 2,500. Again, it's going to take a little bit of time to sort of catch up, but in a moment you'll see I got another set of brushes, or a different size brush that I could play around with, and I'm going to do another splat right there. Okay, so now basically what you're going to do is just have some fun. We're going to do sort of like Jackson Pollock inspired design. We'll create a new layer. You could play around with another brush. You sort of just have to trial and error them to see, you know, how they go. There's gonna be some lag. There's sort of a lot of processing going on. But on my new layer, I'm going to choose a different color from my toolbar over here. I'm going to go into sort of like a purpley color over here, hit OK, and then again let everything catch up. I'll click and add in, you know, some more colors. And so the goal here is to create sort of this random splatter paint design, but you can see if you do too much, this is going to feel busy. So you sort of want to find that balance where it's not too much, and you'll play around with the random splatter paint brushes as well as the different sizes. And your goal is to create something that, you know, is inspired by that Jackson Pollock style. I'm going to pause this and come back and add a couple more layers with a couple of different colors to sort of show you what I come up with. Okay, so you can see that I've added a couple more layers, a couple more colors. It is going to maybe go a little bit slow. If you have something that you don't like, you can always just grab your eraser. Like, I don't like how this straight line right here is sort of creeping its way in. So I'm going to increase the opacity of my eraser to 100%. Just sort of get rid of this. I don't really like the way that it looks. And you can do a little bit more with it as well. So just the idea is to have some fun with it, but let the randomness of the splatter paint sort of move you to have some fun and play around with the design. All right, so you could also play around with the opacity of the brush. So as you're using it right in here, you can set that. That's how I have sort of this like semi-transparent layer right there in the blue. Once you're done, save it as a PSD and export it as a JPEG. You could also then go to brusheezy.com and you can see all sorts of different brushes that you have. So once you create your Jackson Pollock inspired splatter paint, I then want you to go and see what else you can find. A popular brush type is to look up for a smoky brush, and you'll get to see a little preview of what those look like. So as it loads right here, I will leave you with that little tip and technique. Get a sense for what these look like. Smoke 15 is kind of a cool one. So good luck with it.